There we go, guys. This is Sniper Maniac, and today I'm gonna put in up my virtual world Yugi Muto character deck profile. Now, what can I say about Yugi, Yummy Yugi, or one or both at the same time? And this special filler saga, which it was, of course, as well as the other one that will follow. As I already told you guys yesterday in the other video, which was solely about the character deck profile of Seto Kaiba, it is this specific arc is mainly focused on the basic topic of the family quarrels and company controversials that happen in between Seto Kaiba, Mokuba Kaiba, and his family members / stepfather, stepbrother, and rivals of the company. And so you might say Yugi kind of followed the lead of Seto Kaiba in order to fight these rivals, to get rid of them on the one hand, and on the other hand, of course, to free themselves as they were trapped in this cyberspace capsules. And the purpose to get free, they had to fight one of the competitors, rivals of the company, one after another. And first of all, Yugi had to fight against, I think, one of the foremost elite guys of the Big Five, or leader type guys of the Big Five, which was Gensly. And Gensly also almost succeeded in fighting Yugi off and engaged him in very equally outbalanced battle. But Yugi then eventually turned the tides and then was successful at the end. Then he had another duel with, I think, Noah, in which he used a mixed deck in between him and Seto Kaiba, but I didn't use that mixed deck, so you guys shouldn't be keen and expecting Blue Eyes, White Dragon, Cyber Jar, or Red Eyes, or something like that in this character deck. I just put him out, or I didn't let him even in, to say it better. So it is just accurately focused on his other cards that he himself possesses. And I did exchange, I think, 2 or 3 cards which were anime exclusive, like Quick Attack, with 2 or 3 staples. Now, let's dive into this character deck profile, and let's commence. First, I put in there the Magician of Black Chaos. Now, this card he played out in his last duel against Mokuba, which duel he had a lot of difficulties at start, and then and it turned the tables around, how you might say, with, for example, this card, as well as with, of course, his Dark Magician that he also engaged in battle. And then the Curse of Dragon. I'm not sure. I think No, there were 3 duels that he took part in. One against Gansley, one against the Big Five all mixed up together, and the third, it wasn't the third arc in which he played out and played against Noah Kaiba, the brother from Seto Kaiba. Now, because of Dragon, I think he might be mistaken, but played it out against Big Five, maybe? But it wasn't his deck, I know that for a fact. Sorry, guys. And then also he possessed this one in his deck. Now, he didn't have this one, Blackluster Soldier, I might correct myself, but the Ritual Monster, which is, of course, has the same name, but is a Ritual Monster card. But I hadn't that much from them. I think I had just one or two, and I decided for myself that I put this one into the deck, as you have the problem with all the ritual spells. It is overweight with the ritual spell cards, because if you have the Magician of Black Chaos, then this one is a ritual card, and the third card will be another specific ritual monster that you have in this deck. It's not a ritual monster, but you do need a ritual or a spell card in order to special summon this one. So yeah, it would be a little bit of uncomfortable on the one side, and very unlikely to summon it. So I made this deck a little bit more playable in comparison to it would be if it would be exactly as in the anime. So it's just slight differences which I have in this deck. Then of course the card which he played out against in his first duel, which turned in a turn of events, made his play more successful. And then Buster Blader, I'm not sure in which of the duels he used that one. I think maybe it was against the Big Five, but I'm not sure. Which he played out very clearly against Big Five in order to weaken the attacks or attack stats of the opponent's monster, was this False Scarf. And the Arcfront of Gilfer he had also. I think he just discarded it. Then he played out also, or at least possessed it in this deck, was Valkyrian the Magnet Warrior, which was, I think, the most powerful of his cards in terms of attack stats. Of course, the Dark Magician Girl is very favorite and foremost notorious fusion material monsters. One of them is Baphomet, and of course the other one is Gazelle, King of the Mythical Beast, in order to special fusion summon his Chimera, the Flying Mythical Beast. And of course, in order to bring this on the Magnet Valkyrian, the Magnet Warrior, and onto the field, the three beta Alpha, Beta, and Gamma, the Magnet Warriors. Then, which was, I think, first introduced into this in this issue in this arc, was the Obnoxious Celtic Guardian. Two monster cards which were just engaged in battle into that very specific era was the Stone Ghost and the 4 stars Bug of the Doomed. Then a Sangan, the Winged Dragon of Fortress, which I think you all just saw. Oh no, he just played out against one of the doors. There were doors which he had to pass, and there were monsters behind it, and he had to play out on his duel this another monster which was stronger in order to succeed entering this specific door. Then, of course, Big Shield Gardener, which I think he played out against a Big 5 mixed deck. Giant Soldier of Stone, they were seen or shown in his battle against Noah Kaiba. Mystical Elf, again in the epic battle against Big 5. Then the normal Celtic Guardian, which, and I know as a matter of fact, that he at the start tried to figure out which of the monsters would be very likely to be his deck master in the first duel. And then you saw also the Celtic Guardian in his deck, the normal one. And of course, which his first deck master was Kuribo. Then further, two very particular cards for this. One Saga is one Mirage Knight, and the other one the Dark Magician Knight, which you need a spell card for the purpose of summoning this one. I think the Mirage Knight has the function to destroy the 5-headed dragon of the Big 5, because this one is a light type monster, and that's the only type monster which can destroy the 5-headed dragon. I don't know which. I think this card, if I'm not mistaken, was a fusion summon from the Flame Swordsman, and you needed the Flame Swordsman and the... No, I think if Mirage Knight is destroyed, you can summon maybe another card? It was like something like that. I think either that Mirage Knight could special summon another, had the ability to special summon another 7-star monster, or it was Dark Magician Knight, which could special summon him. But one of these two, I think maybe this one, was a fusion summon in the anime, in between the Flame Swordsman of Joey and the Dark Magician. But I might be mistaken, maybe I'm wrong, guys. I'm not very 100% certain. Now, these are two his monsters, then, and I don't need to forget that there was, of course, another fusion monster. He had Chimera, but I have it somewhere here, but I didn't find it, so it was Dark Flare Knight, and I think the effect of Dark Flare Knight is to special summon the Mirage Knight, but yeah. With this card you can special summon Mirage Knight, and I think if you... This card is a fusion summon from Dark Magician and Flame Swordsman, so I might redeem myself. But I don't know how the connection is between the Dark Magician Knight and the Dark Flare Knight. Well, leave it up to you to research that, because yeah, I might not do it tonight. But I will research after that, maybe then. I will drop it in the comment section. Now on to the spell cards. I put for draw power one Graceful Charity in here. I know he hadn't have it, as a matter of fact, basically, but I think he didn't even play out Pot of Greed in this era, so yeah, I think one of them at least had to be put in the deck in order to give him more draw power. Then of course the Black Ritual for the... oh no, sorry, not the Black Ritual. The Knight's Title. Black Ritual is not right in this deck anymore. The Knight's Title in order to get out your Dark Magician Knight. A Polymerization for your... if you have, or if you want to fusion summon the Baphomet and Gazelle on the one hand, or Dark Magician and Flame Swordsman on the other hand. Monster Reborn, of course. card destruction, which he played out in the epic duel against the Big Five. Magic Formula. This is a card which I think he did not engage in any of the duels, but yeah, as I said, I did fill up some of the cards in order to make this deck a little bit more playable. On the one hand, and you had some of the anime exclusive cards, which I of course couldn't put in the deck, as well as Dimension Hole. Dimension Hole was a staple in this very specific era, and yeah, I might it might be very appropriate to that deck as well. Then of course the Black Magic Ritual, in order to bring your Black Magician of Chaos onto the field. Exchange, which was very common in this in the Battle City era, and I think who had it also in his deck in this segment. Diffusion. I think he played that out in his last duel against Noah Kaiba, in order to diffuse this 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon, which he had from Kaiba. Or maybe he diffused Noah from the Shinato monster? I'm not sure. Dispel he had in his deck. He showed it in his hand as he was dueling Gensly, but he had to discard it. Heavy Storm, as he was battling against one of the doors. They had a magic and field full of magic and trap cards, so he played that one out. Swords of Revealing Light against Noah Kaiba in order to stall. Yeah, that's on to his spell cards, and trap cards he didn't need that much in this segment, so he played out just a few, which one of them was of course Magical Heads against the Big Five, in order to, I think, save his Dark Magician, a typical combination. Then Mirror Force. That's very interesting, because Mirror Force he did not play out, he bluffed. He had a tactic in order to convince the Big Five to attack him instead of Joey, which, if he was being attacked, he would have lost the duel. So he called it a bluff, and then one of the Big Five, I think it was Naspit, was trapped into that very bluff, and Joey was after all saved. And then Spellbinding Circle. I don't know when he played out this one, but I know for a fact he had this in his deck. Then these two, Nutrient Set and Dark Renewal, he engaged into the duel against Noah Kaiba. Now, this about Yugi character deck profile for the Virtual World Cyber Virtual World arc. I hope you guys enjoyed it and liked it. Yeah, subscribe, comment down below, and of course, stay tuned for more content. I will be going on recording, uploading these decks, as I have much fun with it. And maybe you guys already been realizing it. Yeah, maybe I can improve myself. You guys can, you needn't to be too shy, and can comment down below. And yeah, I will be going on then, I think, with a corrected deck profile of Joey later on. Guys, goodbye. Sleep well. Your Slifer Maniac.